it all. But first up, viewers, let me take you through the headlines. Election Commission declares Eknath Shinde as the real Senapati. Shinde faction gets the bow and arrow symbol and the name Shiv Sena. Uddhav Thackeray calls it death of democracy. US tycoon George Soros taunts Modi government on Adani. Union Minister Smriti Irani slams Soros for anti-India views. The Income Tax Department's damning charges against the BBC after 3 days of searches. The British broadcaster is accused of disproportionate profit and evading tax on certain remittances. The BBC also releases a statement, says will carry on work without any fear. Big win for Aam Aadmi Party over Delhi Mayor polls. Supreme Court says LG nominated members will not vote. Asks for notice for poll date to be issued within the next 24 hours. Adani hearing in Supreme Court, order reserved after top court says it wants full transparency. Centre sealed cover suggesting names for panel to strengthen measures rejected. Two alleged cow smugglers abducted and burnt alive in Haryana. The family accuses Bajrang Dal Gaur Rakshak Monu Manesar. Nataka overstate budget in Karnataka. Congress netas wear flowers in their ears to accuse the Bombay government of fooling people. There's been developments in the Prithvi Shaw selfie scuffle. Arrested accused claims it was the cricketer who tried to kill her. Accuses him of being intoxicated during the fight. And Hollywood star Bruce Willis has been diagnosed with dementia. This condition affects the frontal and temporal lobes of the brain. News break coming in after the EC has awarded the party name and the symbol to Eknath Shinde. Uddhav Sena now to move Supreme Court over the EC's verdict. A short while ago, very agitated Uddhav Thackeray held a press conference, says matter is in Supreme Court, how can EC decide? He also says law minister pressurized judiciary. The AC gave Sena and party symbol to Shinde Sena. Fight for BMC control clearly exploding. He also went down to accuse the EC of siding with the government, playing to the tunes of the government, called it a compromised institution. On the other hand, Uddhav Thackeray compared Eknath Shinde to Ravan. He made an analogy and then in Marathi, and then which practically meant that both Ram and Ravan had a bow and an arrow. However, here Eknath Shinde is the Ravan while he is the Ram. Ultimately also playing an emotional card, saying that Shiv Sainiks will remain Shiv Sainiks, the cadre will remain with him, and the people for whom the Shiv Sena meant Bala Sahib Thackeray will always be with him and not Eknath Shinde. He can temporarily enjoy the symbol and the party name.
आजपर्यंत आपण अनेक उदाहरणं पाहिलेली आहेत की जिथे सरकारची दादागिरी चाललेली आहे. अगदी न्याय यंत्रणा सुद्धा आपल्या दबावाखाली कशी येईल याच्याबद्दल गेले काही दिवस केंद्रीय कायदा मंत्री बोलतायत, राज्यसभेचे अध्यक्ष बोलतायत. त्यांना न्यायमूर्ती नेमण्याचे सुद्धा आता अधिकार पाहिजेत. आज जो निवडणूक आयोगाने निकाल दिलेला आहे हा लोकशाहीच्या दृष्टीने अत्यंत घातक, किंवा मी तर असं म्हणेन की दुर्दैवाने आपल्या देशाच्या स्वातंत्र्याचा अमृत महोत्सव सुरू असताना आपल्या माननीय पंतप्रधानांनी एकदा लाल किल्ल्यावरून घोषणा करायला हरकत नाही की 75 वर्षाचं स्वातंत्र्य आता संपलेलं आहे आणि आता देशातली लोकशाही संपवून आम्ही बेबंदशाहीला सुरुवात केलेली आहे.
Death of democracy that the EC played to the tunes of the centre, and Eknath Shinde will not enjoy the love and support of the people. He might have the symbol and the party name. In effect, what Uddhav Thackeray said. But it's a day where Eknath Shinde is elated, ecstatic. There were fireworks at Varsha, the Chief Minister's residence. India Today's Sahil Joshi had an exclusive chat over the phone call minutes after EC made the announcement. Listen in.
जो फैसला आया है उसके बारे में आपका क्या कहना है? किस तरीके से आप इस फैसले को देखते हैं?
ये सत्य का विजय है, ये सत्य का विजय है, लोकशाही का विजय है और बाला साहेब और आनंद दिघे साहब के विचारों का विजय। और तमाम जिन्होंने मुझ पर विश्वास रखा, मेरे 50 सहयोगी विधायक है, सांसद है और हजारों लाखों कार्यकर्ता, शिव सैनिक, इनका विजय है। मैं चुनाव आयोग को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ।
सर, लेकिन इसके बाद आपको लगता है कि और भी लोग आपसे जुड़ेंगे? मुंबई में खास करके आप इंतजार कर रहे थे इस फैसले का। अब जब ओरिजिनल नाम और बो एंड एरो सिंबल आपको मिल चुका है, तो और भी लोग आपसे जुड़ने की उम्मीद आपको लग रही है?
नहीं, लोग तो जुड़ रहे हैं। जब ये सिंबल नहीं था तब भी लोग जुड़ रहे हैं। जो विचार हम लोग ने, जो भूमिका ली हुई है बाला साहब के विचारों की और इस राज्य के हित की, जनता के हित की जो भूमिका हमने ली हुई है, इसलिए लोग काफी जुड़ रहे हैं, आगे भी जुड़ते रहेंगे।
आरोप लगाया जा रहा है शिवसेना उद्धव गुट के तरफ से, अब उनको उद्धव ठाकरे गुट कहना चाहिए, कि उनका कहना है कि सत्ता का उपयोग करके यह फैसला लिया गया इलेक्शन कमीशन की तरफ से। क्या कहना है आपका?
ये देखिए, आरोप लगाना तो उनका काम है, लेकिन इस देश में, लोकशाही में कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है, रूल्स है, कानून है।
आज जो फैसला आया है उसके बारे में आपका क्या कहना है? किस तरीके से आप इस फैसले को देखते हैं?
ये सत्य का विजय है, ये सत्य का विजय है, लोकशाही का विजय है और बाला साहेब और आनंद दिघे साहब के विचारों का विजय। और तमाम जिन्होंने मुझ पर विश्वास रखा, मेरे 50 सहयोगी विधायक है, सांसद है और हजारों लाखों कार्यकर्ता, शिव सैनिक, इनका विजय है। मैं चुनाव आयोग को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ।
All right, let's break it down, viewers. What could be the political implications of it all? What does it actually mean for Uddhav Thackeray? And what is the logistical outcome of it? Let's cut across to Sahil Joshi, who's joining me live from Mumbai, our Mumbai Bureau Chief. Rajdeep Sardesai, consulting editor, after cracking an exclusive interview with Abhishek Banerjee, which will play out in the next 15 minutes, joins us from Meghalaya. Rajdeep, you should have been in Maharashtra. You're there in Meghalaya, but we're going to play that exclusive interview out. But before that, Sahil, pulling you in, we're going to get down to the political implications of it all, but logistically, what does it mean from here on? What about party property? You know, that massive iconic building in Dadar, Sena Bhavan, all of that was sealed. What about organizational committees which was sealed? What happens now, logistically speaking?
Well, let me first clarify to our viewers, the Election Commission does not decide which office will be going to the which fraction of the party. They only decide with respect to the party's name and the party's symbol, which is going to be with which group. So the Shiv Sena Bhavan, as a that iconic building in Mumbai Shivaji Park area, is not going to go with Eknath Shinde. It is going to stay with Uddhav Thackeray himself. But the party's name, the identity of the party, Shiv Sena, and the identity of the party, the bow and arrow symbol, are going to go with Eknath Shinde. So Eknath Shinde from tomorrow onwards can claim that he is the Shiv Sena. He is the leader of the Shiv Sena after Bala Saheb Thackeray. This is for the first time after 1966. Somebody who does not carry the surname of Thackeray is going to lead the party there. And you're absolutely right. Rajdeep Sardesai should have been in Mumbai today because he has seen Shiv Sena, since many years. And today he is in some other corner of the country and doing some, election on my plate stories from Meghalaya.
Okay,
but interestingly,
he's cracked an exclusive interview with Abhishek Banerjee, which nobody has, and we're going to play it out in the next 15 minutes.
But ideally, he should be doing Uddhav Thackeray's interview here in Bombay.
But I'm sure he's kicking himself over it. But such is life. But stay with me, Sahil. Let me bring him in, and I'll come right back to you. So Sahil's broken down what is the logistical implications of it for the party. But Rajdeep, Naam, Nishan, both now, the party name, party symbol, going to Eknath Shinde. What does it mean for Uddhav Thackeray from here on?
Preeti, first of all, yes, I'm in the state with the wrong M at the moment. You could argue Maharashtra is where the action is. I'm in Meghalaya. That's okay. That happens. But let's put it this way. I think for the Shiv Sena, Uddhav Thackeray group, this is a huge setback politically, because the battle for the symbol, in a sense, was seen to be a battle as to which is the real Sena. So you will now have Eknath Shinde suggesting that he is the real Sena. Having said that, I was with an opposition leader here who thought that in this adversity lies a huge opportunity for Uddhav Thackeray. And you saw some of it in his press conference, claiming that he is being victimized, that the centre is in concert with the Election Commission acting against his family, against Balasaheb Thakray's legacy, and thereby the opportunity lies for him to play victim. And you will probably see that happen over the next few months, particularly in the lead up to the crucial Mumbai municipal elections. We don't know when those will be, but clearly I think what has happened is the EC has gone by pure numbers in terms of the MLAs. Because the Eknath Shinde camp had more MLAs, that was seen to be the strongest argument in favor of giving the symbol to Eknath Shinde. However, the question arises that the entire matter is before the Supreme Court in the manner in which the defection took place. Did the EC jump the gun? Did the EC give a verdict in haste? Could the EC have waited to hear from the Supreme Court? I know that the EC's inquiry was a parallel inquiry, but could they have waited for the Supreme Court? We know now that Uddhav Thackeray's camp is planning to go to the Supreme Court to challenge the Election Commission decision. Look, Preeti, the fact is, at the end of the day, this battle for who is the real Shiv Sena will not be settled by the symbol issue. It will be settled, in my view, by who wins the crucial Mumbai municipal election that will happen sometime this year. Because that is the real fortress of the Shiv Sena. If Uddhav Thackeray was to lose badly in those Mumbai municipal corporation elections, then you could probably write the Shiv Sena off. But till that happens, I think the symbol will be used by both sides, by Eknath Shinde to claim he's the real Sena, and by Uddhav Thackeray to claim that he has been victimized by the centre, which has used the EC to target him. So I think picture abhi baki hai is the way I will put it. The real battle remains for who will win the Mumbai Municipal Corporation elections to be held later this year.
Sahil wants to come in, but Rajdeep, we talk about something which even Uddhav Thackeray's camp is going to town, that the matter is in Supreme Court. Did the EC jump the gun, play to the tunes of the centre? But having said that, if you actually look at the Election Symbols Order 1968, it clearly says that the EC can decide disputes amongst rival groups. More so, the Supreme Court upheld it in 1971, that the EC is the top boss ultimately. So in terms of legal context, really, it's not out of turn that the EC has decided to do this. But, I'll come right back. Rajdeep. I want to... Yes, go ahead.
The EC has the powers. There's no doubt about it. But we've seen in the past that the EC has also at times frozen political symbols till such time as there is greater clarity. Now, there is a sense that the situation in Maharashtra, so the Uddhav Thackeray camp has argued, is still in a state of flux. The Eknath Shinde camp, on the other hand, has said, look, we formed a government, we've got a majority of the MLAs, let's get the symbol. So I think, as I said, while the first round of this battle has been conclusively won by the Eknath Shinde camp, I think the real battle will take place both in the Supreme Court and, more importantly, among the people of Maharashtra and Mumbai in particular. Do they really think that Eknath Shinde is the true heir to Balasaheb Thakray's legacy, or is it Uddhav Thackeray? That battle cannot be settled in an election commission office. That will have to be settled on the streets of Mumbai when voting takes place.
Sahil, I know you've been wanting to come in, but taking off from what Rajdeep says, the flip side of it, could there be a sympathy wave for Uddhav Thackeray at the back of this? Could it work for Uddhav Thackeray? But, you just don't have the symbol, you just don't have the party name, you're in power, you have the administration, you're facing a BMC election. The odds lie with you.
Well, Preeti, I want to come to that, and it's a very important point, because this is the toughest battle any Thackeray would have ever faced in their lifetime. Balasaheb Thackeray in his lifetime have faced existential battle for Shiv Sena so many times, especially during the emergency, especially after the emergency when he was on the wrong side of the history. He was with the Congress at that particular time and he fought the elections with the Congress and he faced the consequences. The Shiv Sena had almost become non-existent. But despite that, he could survive his party. The people in his party completely stood behind him because that was the time when Shiv Sena was not the political party. Whereas now the situation has changed. By the time Uddhav Thackeray took over the party, Shiv Sena has already had the fruits of being in power. 1995 to 1999, party had run the full-fledged government in Maharashtra. It was part of the Vajpayee cabinet for more than 6 years. Then again with Devendra Fadnavis for 5 years. So the people whom Uddhav Thackeray was leading have already tested the fruits of the power in Maharashtra and also in the center. Most importantly right now, what Rajdeep said is absolutely right. But I would like to add two things in this because what is going to happen now is that for next 1 year, the biggest story in Maharashtra is going to be not the BJP, not the NCP, not the Congress, but which is the real Shiv Sena. It's going to be still going to be the biggest fight because, we have ample of examples in the history, in the political history of India. In Telugu Desam, when N.T. Ramarao was alive at that time, Chandrababu Naidu carried all the party MLAs with him, the party hierarchy, the party machinery with him, and he survived as a Telugu Desam and N.T. Ramarao couldn't do a thing about it. But on the other hand, with the AIADMK, even if Jayalalitha was thrown out of the party, she formed her own fraction. She was the one who actually eventually became the real AIADMK. Is that going to happen in Maharashtra, which will only we come to know when the elections will happen? But I would like to draw attention to...
Or 1971, Sahil, Congress O or Congress I.
Yeah, exactly. I want to come to that only because that is the judgment which has been cited in the Election Commission order while deciding which is going to be the real Shiv Sena. So the Congress's fate in 1971 was used to decide, who is going to be the real Shiv Sena. They have applied triple test in the Sadiq Ali judgment. I am reading out the triple test. The first one is the aims and objectives. The second test is of the party constitution. And the third test is the test of the majority. Now, what the Election Commission has found, when it comes to the aims and with respect to the aims and objects of the party, both the fractions couldn't satisfy Election Commissions that they are the one who are actually carrying the aims and objects of the real Shiv Sena. The second thing about the party constitution, Election Commission says that the various amendments with the in the party constitution are not in the line with the registration of the political party, the rules of the registration of the political party. That's why the constitution has been kept aside. And now becomes the third important point is with the rule of the majority, which was clearly on the side of Eknath Shinde. And on the basis of that, Election Commission finally decided that Sadiq Ali judgment is applied in the Shiv Sena, in the case of Shiv Sena. And that is the reason why the election symbol and the name of the party has been awarded to Eknath Shinde. Now, most importantly, Eknath Shinde is man of the hour. He has been claiming this ever since. I interviewed him during India Today conclave, and that was the time he clearly said that whatever happens, the Election Commission, he's very confident that Election Commission
but that's
is
what
going to award the symbol and the name to Eknath Shinde.
But Rajdeep, that's what even Uddhav Thackeray said when he began his press conference. He said that Eknath Shinde faction already knew that they were going to get this symbol. It was something that we also spoke about, in the newsroom so many times, that it was inevitable that they would get the symbol. But what you talk about now, of course, the proof in the pudding would be in its eating. That's the BMC elections immediately. But coming through, Rajdeep, Maharashtra is practically going to have the number of by-elections that are going to take place in the state in the next 1 year. Is practically a state election of sorts. All of that, if you don't have the party symbol, if you don't have, the name, and there will be defections. Whatever little Uddhav Thackeray has would possibly also now tend to gravitate towards Eknath Shinde, the real Sena.
A couple of points. First, what you said, the inevitability of this decision. And I think that reflects the times in which we live. You see, like it or not, this is not the Election Commission of TN Session. this is an election commission which is increasingly seen not to be a neutral umpire. The opposition, I can tell you, not just the Shiv Sena, has been complaining for the past few years, suggesting even schedules are organized by this particular election commission to suit the BJP. They've given ample examples of that. So that argument will be made, but that argument is not a legal argument. That is a political argument. The other argument, which you're hinting at, is that now that the symbol and the name of the real Shiv Sena in a way has gone to the Eknath Shinde camp, will people start flocking to Eknath Shinde? I think that remains to be seen, because I think there are enough people out there who still want to play safe, who want to see what happens over the next few months, who recognize, as you said, that Maharashtra is a state which will go into elections next year. Till those, in the build-up to that election, yes, you will have people switching sides. That's why I said the BMC elections are critical. If Uddhav Thackeray loses control of the Mumbai Municipal Corporation, comes, let's say, a bad second or a bad third, then clearly Eknath Shinde will have a dominant position. But until that happens, I can tell you the carders are not going to switch so easily. Uddhav Thackeray and the Thackeray family still has an emotional appeal that cannot be denied. The administrative power, the resources possibly are on the other hand with the Eknath Shinde camp. So I think, it may be game today to Eknath Shinde, but it's still not set and match. I think that will only happen a little while later. So I hesitate at this moment to predict that there'll be a large-scale exodus from the Uddhav Thackeray camp. My sense is, remember, the bastion of the Uddhav Thackeray camp remains Mumbai. So until those elections are sorted, what do Shakha Pramukhs do? They will wait, bide their time and take a call. Sahil mentioned very interestingly the case of NTR and Chandrababu Naidu. Chandrababu Naidu captured the organization as well. He didn't just get the MLAs. And remember, this was while NTR was alive, Lakshmi Parvati was there, and there was a sense that NTR was aging. Is that the case today, possibly between the Thackeray's and the Shindes? We don't know. You see, the X factor, Preeti, is the BJP. The BJP is, after all, the dominant party of India. And there's a sense that whoever is with the BJP gains a huge advantage in terms of resources, in terms of the Modi factor. So we have to also see, therefore, can the BJP take only Eknath Shinde along with them and take on the Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi, which has NCP, Congress and the Shiv Sena on the other side? That will also be decided when elections take place in Maharashtra next year. So there are a lot of there are lots of straws still in the wind which need to settle down before we can predict the demise of the Shiv Sena. I would hesitate to predict the demise of the Uddhav Thackeray Sena just yet. But yes, their backs are to the wall and they will have a tough struggle now to really, in a way, ensure that they are still the dominant party of Mumbai.
Sahil, taking off from what Rajdeep says, you've been you've been looking at Maharashtra, you've seen how things have gone down ever since this vertical split happened. What's your sense? What's the ground feel? What's the ground sense that you're getting? The Congress is also not doing terribly in the recent past. What is it that you're picking up?
Well, now, what needs to be seen is whether that on whose side the cadre is going to move. Because, the Shiv Sena has always been not only a political party, but it's always been an organization. And that is the reason why, despite, the ups and downs, the party cadre has always remained intact with the Thackeray family. It started breaking up, after Narayan Rane broke away from Shiv Sena, then Raj Thackeray formed his own party, and then eventually Balasaheb Thackeray died and Uddhav Thackeray became the working president and then party president he became. But now what needs to be seen is whether the people who are fence-sitters, because, now it has become completely a political party. Ever since 1990, the Shiv Sena has been fighting elections across Maharashtra, Assembly as well as Lok Sabha. So now it has taken a shape of a political party since last 30 years. All the downsides of the political party are also with the Shiv Sena. So the people who have crossed over to Shiv Sena may not be the original cadre. There might be some political bigwigs who need some political symbol and the name behind them to get elected. So those kind of people will eventually think that politically which side they should be on. And as Rajdeep has rightly pointed out, the BJP is a major player in Maharashtra politics at this point of time. It's the not only the number one party with respect to the numbers in Lok Sabha as well as in Vidhan Sabha, but also it has its own clout now in Maharashtra. So the politics in Maharashtra has become, if you consider two poles, one are those kind of people who are with the BJP, who are with the power in the center, and the other side is basically against the BJP. That is the reason why we have seen clubbing of the parties against the BJP, a kind of a united Maha Vikas Aghadi against the BJP. So those fence sitters within the Shiv Sena may think that Uddhav Thackeray may not get themselves elected because he doesn't have a symbol, he doesn't have Shiv Sena, and most importantly, he doesn't have BJP on its side.
Right.
So maybe those fence sitters might think of shifting over to Eknath Shinde camp, because now they have got the name and the symbol. The identity of the party is now with Eknath Shinde, and that is the real challenge. Now what remains is that the term which Rajdeep used is Shakha Pramukh. That is one of the important fraction in Shiv Sena if you come to the cadre level. And what these people do, because in politics it never happens like this, that if the elected representative shift, the cadre also shift. That has never happened in Shiv Sena before.
Right.
So that is something which we will need to.
But that's
see at this
interesting. And
point of
Rajdeep
time,
wants to come in on that. Rajdeep, even in the press conference that Uddhav Thackeray held, a lot of what he said was full of the machismo, the masculine politics that Shiv Sena follows, where he said that these are not real men, it's a fight of dharma, Ravan and Ram, everything in the makings of what has been Shiv Sena language. Do you see that cadre shifting?
Well, you see, he's trying to convert adversity into opportunity by playing the victim card, by harking back to his father's legacy. We don't know whether that will, to what extent it will succeed. Politics is never static, it's changing. The rise of the BJP is significant. I wanted to come in because, as you said, I'm in Meghalaya. And let me tell you what happened here in Meghalaya today. Amit Shah was here in Tura again and attacked the National People's Party, which is the ruling party or the part of the ruling alliance led by Conrad Sangma, of which the BJP was a part till 5 months ago. What has the BJP done? They've ditched Conrad Sangma, are calling him the most corrupt and incompetent chief minister, and are now contesting all 60 seats in Meghalaya. So what have they done? They've effectively piggybacked on a regional party and grown at their expense and now want power. And this is the tale across the northeast, and to some extent that's true of Maharashtra. Today I am reminded of what Pramod Mahajan, the late Pramod Mahajan, once told me many years ago. He said, Rajdeep, we are the junior partner today in Maharashtra to the Shiv Sena, yes. But after Balasaheb Thackeray, what? After Balasaheb Thackeray, mark my words, we will be the dominant Hindutva ally. And that's exactly what's happened. How did they do it? By weaning away an Eknath Shinde on their side. They are now positioning themselves as the dominant party of Maharashtra. What is the option therefore left to an Uddhav Thackeray? To play victim, to play on Maharashtrian Asmita, to suggest that this is a conspiracy by outside forces who are targeting the people of Maharashtra. You saw that when a couple of projects ahead of the Gujarat elections left Maharashtra and went to Gujarat. That is the last card in a way that Uddhav Thackeray can play, that he will play now to a sense of Maharashtra pride, Maharashtrian identity, and say that, look, we are the original party of Maharashtra. Eknath Shinde has betrayed us. Will that work with the voters? We don't know, because no election has been held since this breakup. The one that was held in Andheri, the Eknath Shinde by-election, the Eknath Shinde camp didn't even contest that. I think the real test therefore will come when corporation elections are held in Maharashtra later this year. And also very importantly, remember, Maharashtra has the second largest number of Lok Sabha MPs. Therefore, even in the larger national picture, what happens in Maharashtra will have a bearing on what happens in 2024.
Rajdeep, stay with me. I just want to quickly, get our viewers up to speed on what they are witnessing. It's a press conference right after Uddhav's press conference that Eknath Shinde is all set to hold. These are live visuals that are filtering in. Varsha, his residence there, you can hear actually the dhols at the back, the firecrackers. So while we're going to dip into those visuals, let me quickly pull in Rajdeep and Sahil back into this conversation. We're going to cut across that, and Sahil or Rajdeep, whichever one of you feel up to it, you can translate for our viewers. But Sahil, you know, there's something also which, and for reason enough, that the Uddhav faction has been harping on, which is why the BMC elections were delayed. And now the word is they're going to be right around the corner.
Well, now that will completely depend on what is going to happen in the court, because the delimitation of the BMC wards is pending in the court at this point of time. So that needs to be decided by the court, and only after that the BMC elections are going to happen. Of course, Eknath Shinde is going to visit now Balasaheb Thackeray's Preeti Sthal. You know, well, Balasaheb Thackeray was cremated at the Shivaji Park, and of course he's going to go gung-ho about it. I spoke to him a while back, and he was very calm and quiet about this, that he was very confident that, as I said, the people who are fence-sitters are going to cross over to him. The biggest problem for Eknath Shinde have been Mumbai, because in Mumbai, not many of the Uddhav Thackeray supporters or the Shiv Sena supporters crossed over to the Shinde camp, and now he thinks that this is a chance. If he can manage to get control of the Mumbai from Shiv Sena, then that is going to be his political future at this point of time. The BJP has made it clear that henceforth all the elections in Maharashtra are going to be fought with Eknath Shinde. So Eknath Shinde will remain a Shiv Sena chief, and then he's going to continue his political journey with the BJP at this point of time. Let's see now if Eknath Shinde speaks at this point of time. If he speaks in Marathi, I'll translate.
Well, he will speak in Marathi, Sahil. I'll put my money on it. But Rajdeep, I'll bring you on that. Eknath Shinde also now trying very hard to play where optics are concerned.
No, Preeti.
He's at the Balasaheb Thackeray Smriti.
One very interesting fact. If you are running the visuals at this point of time, I can see there is a Nepali man standing besides Eknath Shinde in the visuals, and he's the one who was a Man Friday of Balasaheb Thackeray, who has been with Balasaheb Thackeray since last 30-40 years. Ever since I have been going to Matoshri and speaking to Balasaheb Thackeray, I have always been seeing this man along with him, and today he made it a point to bring him along with him while he's addressing the press conference at Varsha. So that is also kind of a symbolic thing, that it's not only the symbol and the Shiv Sena, but also that Nepali man called Thapa is with him at this point of time while addressing the press conference. So that is also quite an interesting fact, as I can say.
Feel free to translate for us. Okay, Rajdeep wants to come in. Yes, Rajdeep, go ahead till the time he speaks. Can we get Rajdeep, please?
No, but you know, Thapa and a few other members of the Thackeray family with whom Uddhav and Aditya Thackeray have had antagonisms. They've been with Eknath Shinde now for a while. Remember the Dashera rally that was held in October? There was a battle between the two rallies. And the likes of Thapa, who as Sahil said was the Man Friday of Balasaheb Thackeray, Jaidev Thackeray, Smita Thackeray,
I'm going to let you make that point. Let's listen in first.
डॉक्टर बाबासाहेब आंबेडकरांनी लिहिलेली घटना आहे, त्याच्यावर आपला कारभार चालतो.
अरे नयन नको आलू
सोनी शाबाश. बहुमताचा विजय. पुन्हा एकदा मी सांगतो, हा लोकशाहीचा आणि पुन्हा एकदा मी सांगतो, हा लोकशाहीचा विजय. 13 खासदार, अनेक नगरसेवक, जिल्हा परिषद अध्यक्ष, सभापती, सदस्य, लाखो कार्यकर्ते आणि शिवसैनिक यांचा हा विजय आहे.
उद्धव ठाकरे यांनी बाहेर काढलेले.
बघा, शेवटी किती काही कोणी म्हटलं तरी सच्चाई कुणालाही लपवता येणार नाही, कुणालाही टाळता येणार नाही. खऱ्या अर्थाने आम्ही बाळासाहेबांचे विचार पुढे घेऊन जाण्याचा निर्णय घेतला आणि त्यांच्या विचारांचा हा विजय आहे.
We are carrying forward Balasaheb's legacy forward.
की त्यांना खऱ्या अर्थाने त्यांनी 2019ला बाळासाहेबांचे विचार कुणाच्या तरी दावणीला बांधले, त्यांचे विचार विकण्याचं मोठं पाप केलं.
who actually
त्यांना ही मोठी
broke
चपराक
away
आहे.
from Balasaheb Thackeray's legacy in
जेव्हा
2019.
त्यांच्या बाजूने निकाल लागतात तेव्हा ती न्याय व्यवस्था बरोबर असते. त्यांच्या जेव्हा विरोधात
It has become
निकाल
his
लागतो
habit to
तेव्हा
say that
दबावाखाली निर्णय घेतला. ती
the
न्याय
law and
व्यवस्था
judiciary is
विकली
doing
गेली.
fine when
ती स्वायत्त
any result is
विकली
on their
गेली.
side.
अशा
When it goes
प्रकारचा
against
आरोप
them,
आहे.
they say that
म्हणजे
the
तेव्हा
democracy
लोकशाही खतरे में,
is in danger.
लोकशाही धोक्यामध्ये, लोकशाहीचा खून. म्हणजे तुमच्या बाजूने निकाल दिला की लोकशाही बरोबर. हे असं जे काय दुटप्पी भूमिका जे
So if
घेतायत,
result is in your favor, then the democracy is right. If a result is not in your favor, then democracy is wrong, is in danger.
एवढंच मी या प्रसंगी सांगतो. आणि
Oh, I want to
यापुढे
say only
देखील
this.
बाळासाहेबांची भूमिका, बाळासाहेबांचे विचार आम्ही पुढे घेऊन जाणार. त्यांनी तर
We are going to carry forward Balasaheb's legacy, his
मान्य
thoughts.
केलं होतं की धनुष्यबाण गोठवलं जाईल, परंतु त्यांनी हा धनुष्यबाण 2019ला ज्यांच्याकडे काँग्रेस आणि राष्ट्रवादीकडे गहाण ठेवला होता तो मी आता सोडवला. आम्ही
We have actually got this bow and arrow because Uddhav Thackeray has given this bow and arrow to Congress and NCP. We have reclaimed this bow and arrow symbol from Congress and NCP.
का नाम भी आपके पास
ए बगा, अरे सुनो बाबा, सुनो, मैं बता रहा हूँ. अभी पहले मेरा मराठी में बोलने दो.
मराठी होते निवडणूक आयोगाने शेण खाल्ला असं
हे बघा,
आणि 1-1.5 महिन्यात निवडणुका लागू शकतात.
एकच मी सांगतो,
त्या माणसाला
हा
बोलावं लागलं.
केविलवाना प्रयत्न आहे. हा सिंपत्ती म्हणजे काय म्हणतो आपण त्याला, सहानुभूती मिळवण्याचा हा केविलवाना प्रयत्न आहे. आपल्या पक्षाकडे असलेले कार्यकर्ते दुसरीकडे जाऊ नये म्हणून त्यांना थांबवण्याचा प्रयत्न आहे. मी मगाशी म्हटल्याप्रमाणे निवडणूक आयोग असेल, न्याय व्यवस्था असेल, हे स्वतंत्र यंत्रणा आहे. तुम्ही त्यांच्यावर अशा प्रकारचा आक्षेप, अशा प्रकारचा आरोप अतिशय खालच्या पातळीवरचा करू शकत नाही, करता कामा नये. हे खरं म्हणजे लोकशाहीला तुम्ही घातक आहात. लोकशाहीचा खून ह्या तुमच्या अशा प्रकारच्या वक्तव्यातून होतोय. आणि म्हणून यापुढे तरी तुमच्यामध्ये सुधारणा घडू द्या. आता मगाशी कोणीतरी म्हणालं की चोर, म्हणजे आम्ही 50 आमदार चोर, 13 खासदार चोर, शेकडो हजारो नगरसेवक चोर, लाखो कार्यकर्ते शिवसैनिक चोर, म्हणजे सगळ्या लाखो लोकांना तुम्ही चोर बनवताय. आणि तुम्ही एकटे साव.
Lakhs of people who have
कधीतरी
supported us
आत्मपरीक्षण करणार
are
की नाही?
all wrong and only
कधीतरी
he is the one who is
आत्मचिंतन करणार
right.
की नाही?
That is not the right
जेवढे
attitude.
लोक तुम्हाला सोडून गेले ते गुन्हेगार
मी इकडे शो करेन.
आणि तुम्ही
That's
बरोबर.
Eknath Shinde. He's at the Balasaheb Thackeray Smriti and responding to what Uddhav Thackeray said just a short while back in the press conference, where Uddhav Thackeray said, called him a thief, a chore, and those who've gone with him the same. He's responding to that. He's saying you can't call the Shiv Sainiks chore or everybody else chore, but you are clean. He also said that when the judiciary or any institution rules in your favor, that practically means that you agree with it, you think that's correct, but when they don't rule in your favor, you call them compromised.
पक्षामध्ये करू शकतो ज्या लोकांनी ज्यांना निवडून दिलेलं आहे, जे निवडून दिलेले आमदार 50 आमदार आमच्या सोबत.
He also goes on and says that the bow and arrow symbol, which is now finally given back to the rightful Shiv Sena, because in 2019, Uddhav Thackeray gave the symbol which was of Balasaheb Thackeray's Shiv Sena to the Congress when he allied with the Congress. And that is when Eknath Shinde had decided he wanted to change things.
निवडून आलेले खासदार त्यांना लाखो लोकांनी केलेलं मतदान.
With that, viewers, it's a wrap on this edition. We thank Sahil Joshi, our Mumbai, our editor and Mumbai Bureau Chief, as well as Rajdeep Sardesai, who is joining us all the way from Meghalaya. He's still with us. Rajdeep, closing comments there, Rajdeep? Okay, we don't have him. I think we've lost that link. But we have this exclusive interview lined up right next of Rajdeep Sardesai with Abhishek Banerjee from the TMC in Meghalaya. Do stay tuned.